This video is brought to you by Dr. Kristen R. Bromley's Guitar Method Book Series and Online Music Academy.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kristen Bromley. Welcome to my online academy. I am thrilled to have you joining me here in these online lessons. In this video, I'm going to explain the different notes that we play on the guitar and how they're situated on the guitar. So we'll learn about notes and how they're positioned along the fretboard. So it's going to be great. This video accompanies the theory and technique book from my method book series. In the book, we're going to be on pages 3 and 4. Okay, so this is really the first lesson that goes with this theory and technique book. We kind of need to know what the notes are and where they're situated before we can learn all the different types of things that we can learn that we can do on the guitar with theory and technique. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. Now, there are 7 natural pitches, and they have letter names: A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. I have them positioned up here on the board. A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. If you're familiar with a keyboard, those are the white keys on the keyboard, and there's a diagram there sort of showing the keyboard, a little layout of the keyboard, so you can see where those are positioned on a keyboard if that's of interest to you. The keyboard kind of is a great place to sort of visualize this sort of thing. On the guitar, it's a little harder to visualize, but it's laid out really nicely. So besides those 7 natural pitches, which have those letter names, we have 5 chromatic pitches. And those 5 chromatic pitches sit in between the natural pitches, and they are named for their location in relation to those natural pitches. So right up here, we have this above. A sharp is right above the A natural. Or it could also be known as B flat right below the B note. So when we have that pound sign or that hashtag looking sign sitting next to a letter name, that tells us it's sharp, and it's just above the natural pitch that has the same letter in its name. And when it's a flat, it sits just below, and that's like a lowercase b is what it looks like. It's going to be up here in the superscript sort of area usually, although when you see things written, it could just be written as a lowercase b next to the letter. When you see things like typed out or written out, maybe in chord symbols or that sort of thing. But it's really just this lowercase little b type looking symbol sitting up next to the letters. So B flat then would be just below that B. Now this brings up a point, and this is explained on page 4, what enharmonic pitches are. So we can have pitches that have different names and even look different on notation. We're going to learn about notation in a different video. But we can have them there. However, they're really the same note because they sound the exact same. So A sharp and B flat are going to sound the exact same. But with written notation, A sharp looks different than B flat on that notated music, and when we're writing out a name, it also looks different, but these two will sound the same. So following that same example, we've got 5 of these sharps. They sit in between all the natural notes except between B and C and between E and F. So A sharp or B flat, then we have C sharp or D flat, we have a D sharp or E flat, we have an F sharp or G flat, and G sharp or A flat. We can also see that over here. This is continuous. We could potentially play notes into infinity on either direction. Of course, instruments and our ears can't hear such things. Instruments can't play such things. They have a limited range, and our ears can't hear in all directions to infinity. But instruments, again, have a limited range, but in theory, it can continue either direction. And with instruments, it will continue in either direction until you've run to the lowest note of that instrument or the highest note of that instrument, and you can't go any further. But it continues in this. So when we get to G, we just start over with A. You could call it a musical alphabet. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, with all those chromatic pitches always happening in that order. And it works just like that. Now, the chromatic scale relates to this. The chromatic scale includes all the notes that exist, and there's 12 of them in scale order. So written up here on the board, if we start on A, that chromatic scale, A to A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, and so on. We usually use the sharp names when we're climbing higher, and then when we go lower, we use the flat names. So if we were to come back, we would have that A to the A flat G, G flat F, E, E flat D, D flat C, B, B flat A flat, and then we could continue on back to G and so on. So that's how the chromatic scale works, and it's sort of important to know this scale order because that's how each of the guitar strings work with the frets along the fretboard. So our basic tuning, which we probably all know, if you don't know, here it is. Our low 6th string is an E, then that next string is an A, then we have a D, G, B, E. There's lots of acronyms for remembering that if you need to. But we tune the guitar using those pitches, so it's probably familiar to you, and if it's not, it will soon be memorized if you tune the guitar very often. So, but eating apples daily grows big ears is one student. One told me, Eddie ate dynamite, goodbye Eddie. Those are some ones that students have taught me to help them remember. I just sort of memorized it from having to tune the strings all the time. But if we know the starting pitch, then all that we do is we move up the fretboard is to go right along the chromatic scale. And on page 4, you'll see a nice diagram of the fretboard going all the way up to that 15th fret, and then it just would continue there on. But guitars have different lengths, different fret numbers, although most of them sort of end in those early 20s or around fret 20, 21, 22. Most guitars end there, but there are guitars that have a little bit more range. But we tend to not play much past the 15th fret. So you got the diagram there showing this as I explain it here on the board. So we have the E on that low 6th string. So if we start on an E pitch in our chromatic scale layout of our 12 pitches in our scale order, then we just move right up the fretboard, E, F, F sharp or G flat, G, G sharp or A flat, and so on. So here on that low string, I've got the open E, then my first fret is going to be an F, F sharp or G flat, G, G sharp or A flat, and then up to the 5th fret I go A sharp or B flat, B, C, then C sharp or D flat, D sharp or E flat, E, and then I continue on. F, I've started over. Once we get to the 12th fret, we're starting over with what we have at our open strings. We've gone through all 12 pitches. So E, open, and then E at the 12th fret. They're an octave difference, so that range difference, an octave being, we've gone all the way through these pitches, now we're 1 octave higher. And so there we are there, and we just continue on as we did. So E, F, F sharp, G, and then it would continue G sharp, A sharp, B, C, and C sharp is how high I go on this particular guitar. So that's the E string, and of course the high string is an E string as well. So you'll see there on the diagram on page 4 that it's the same pitches at the same frets going up that high string as it is with the low 6th string. The only difference being that they're 2 octaves apart. So 2 octaves apart for those outside strings. But the 5th string is an A, so we would start with the A, and of course we're going to move up that string right up that chromatic scale. So A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, and so on and so forth. Our 4th string is a D. Right there, so we would just move right on up, going D, D sharp, E, F, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A, and so on. Of course, every time I'm saying the sharp name, it could also be the flat name. I just haven't said them. The 3rd string is a G, so we would start on the G. We could start over there, G, and then G sharp, A sharp, or B flat, B, C, C sharp or D flat, D, and so on and so forth. Our open 2nd string is a B. So we start on the B and we would just move up B, C, C sharp and D flat, D, D sharp, E flat, E, and so on and so forth. So right there on page 4 you got a nice diagram that shows how the fretboard is completely laid out just like that. So that's an introduction for us. That's how the guitar is designed. Goes right up that chromatic scale with all those pitches that we use in this style of music. There are styles of music where they divide what we would call the half step or the semitone. The guitar is, each of the notes on the guitar is, as we go up the frets, is spaced what we call a half step or a minor second interval or semitone apart. There is music where they actually divide that in half and you get these little quarter tones. We don't use that style on guitar, although we can bend to them sometimes when we're playing bluesy styles or styles that use some of that kind of sound, but they just sound sort of out of tune to us. So for us, with the guitar, with what came from Western European music way back in the day, we have these 12 pitches, and that's how the guitar is designed. We just go right up that chromatic scale on each of the strings, so pretty cool. In the next video, we're going to take a look at written notation and how we identify the pitches on the staff with where they're located on the fretboard. So it's going to be great. Take care. Hope to see you again.
Thanks for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And be sure to check out more great content. You can find more information about me and my products at kristenbromley.com. Take care.